Okay, my name is LaCasse. I'm the owner of SEO Expert Las Vegas. I've been in SEO for probably 5 to 6 years. I've done lots of different audits on industries specifically to Las Vegas. Lots of clients come through. I see a lot with SEO has to come down to actual websites. I don't care about the way that the business is run. I care about growing websites. That's my job. That's the career of an SEO. But the elements of growing a website in the modern era has changed, and it has changed a lot. So one of the things that we have to understand about the Google algorithm, it's not this Illuminati thing that's dictating everything that we do. Google rewards those that have earned the best wording for their keywords that they're trying to go for. And that is basically the definition of search intent, right? Search intent is the most important thing that any online business needs to focus everything on when it comes to their posting, comes to the words on their website, comes to all the content that they have built for this website to make $1. You got to understand what search intent is, and you got to start working to be the best for your keywords. So once you start doing your keyword research, search intent comes down to 4 different things. Informational, the name of the business, the location of the business, what the business does. The reality of the informational search intent is that AI is taking this over. That is what the SGE or the AI answer on your Google searching is taking over right now. That's all informational, and they're going to continue to take over that search intent because the model of Google is to reward brands. It's not going to be the small business. The small business has to earn everything else when it comes to search intent, but information is out the door. Informational search intent is going to be taken over. Navigational intent. This is if you have a database or you sell things, e-commerce has this, you're navigating from Google to somewhere else. So sign up for Netflix, log into Disney Plus, log into ESPN. It will give you the URL to navigate away from Google. This is a of all the priority of search intent, this one really isn't the biggest one, because this is going to be more geared towards, does your website have a place for navigational intent for Google to find it? But usually it's going to be sign-ins or logins because you're navigating away. Transactional. This is the one where you get to make your money. This is where people are ready to buy. Best, affordable, cheapest, closest because closeness, a close business to where that person is searching actually fulfills 2. It's information and it's transaction. They want to find the closest business because they're ready to buy. Transactional is people that are looking to buy from you within a click. Commercial. This is where you get to compare your business to other businesses. Top 5 plumbers in Las Vegas. 3 closest plumbers to Summerlin. Commercial intent is where you're going to be using your blogs and the posting for your business so that you can start to commercialize yourself against your competition. Right? It's very important that if you want your website to get traffic, you got to understand these. And you got to know the difference between them. Because if you just have, I'm the best at what I do, it's not going to mean anything if there's nothing to back it up. You have to earn it. You have to tell people why. This is another element, an acronym in the SEO world called EEAT. Experience, expertise, authoritativeness, trustworthiness. By using what you do and being the best and being the authority and being the most trusted, you start to win these. And you start to win these, right? So say you're a plumber and you want to say on your website that you are the best plumber. Well, after you say best plumber in Las Vegas, how long have you been a plumber? Why should people come to you? That's how search intent and EAT work together. If you start to develop, and even in your posting now, because later on in my presentation, I'm going to start to show you that social media is going to have to start following this as well. And if you haven't seen it already, you're going to start seeing it next year. All right? This is the core element of success on a Google website that is indexed with Google. And now with everything else too. This is all that it matters. So, this is how SEO works. Imagine the seed as your business. And you plant it in the ground, and you produce the atmospheres for it to grow, right? And along the path, we start to see that there's two different parts of the plant that's visible and the roots below it. The seed is your business, the dirt is Google. Everything that you do for your business on the outside surface, your Facebook account, your Instagram account, your LinkedIn account, that's all part of the visuals, that's social media. That's the stuff that people see. Down here is your SEO. Do you actually have ranking search intent for the best of your business in Las Vegas, or in general for the country or for the world? Have you done the research and actually seen what others have done and do it better than them? SEO is more about research and finding your competition and beating them. And everyone can be beaten. No one holds number one forever. SEOs, that's why it's so under the surface, because this stabilizes the growth of the plant. Now, I get this question a lot. How long does it take to go from there to here? In Las Vegas, on average, it's 1 year. 1 year of consistent research, competitive analysis, looking at the technicals of your website, making sure that everything is flowing from the person clicking and clicking off. Does your socials fulfill search intent? At minimum 1 year. Now, for certain industries, you can add a 0 to it. Hospitality, law, real estate, even restaurants. You can add a 0. It takes a very long time to grow the SEO for an online business, because SEOs are about building brands. That's my job. I'm here to help build what you are differentiating yourself from everybody else. And that takes time, that takes energy, that takes research. And once you start to see that, now you'll start bearing fruit. And then you'll start to going down this path. This is the best way I can use to explain SEO. There really isn't any other better way, because this is so important that all of this stuff here, you may feel that things are going well. I'm getting likes, I'm getting shares, I'm getting views on my website. But you're here, and you're down there in the roots. You may even be down at the very end at the sapling, and you got 3 months. Because your visits went from 20 to 10 to 5, and you don't know why. It's because no one bothered looking at the roots. And SEO, my job is the roots. I care only about the roots. This is all your stuff. I care about this. This is fascinating. This is backlinks and the technicals and all the nerdy stuff that makes a website compete just by being on Google, just by being indexed, okay? So, one thing about SEOs is that we get mixed up with Google Ads or PPC marketing. There's a big difference between what an SEO does and what PPC does. If you are starting a business and you need clients fast, you need clients within a couple days, and you know that you have the money to pay for ads, pay for ads. Ads will always beat what an SEO does. It's a hair, it's fast, it moves. You can get copy, you can get a link to your website, and you can get it in the sponsored links at the very top of Google. You could be done in an hour, and you can start moving forward. SEO takes time. It's a snail pace of an industry, because it's about building a brand. And brands, we all know brands. Brands have a value. Brands bring customers with just their existence. But if you need things fast and need things done quickly, you got to go with PPC. That's going to beat what I do every time. But if you stick with SEO for a year, you'll never need a PPC. You will never, ever need it, because you will start organically getting traffic. You'll start to see that this is my brand. This is the value I bring to my customers. And you will beat any campaign because most people never click on sponsored ads. They never click on them, but they do click on the person that earned first keyword, the first position. The objective of SEO is to earn that, right? So, moving on to what has changed in SEO in 2024. This was a big year in the SEO world. A lot of things that we in the industry thought wouldn't grow as fast as AI has. And the whole changing of the Google search results page to the AI-generated SGE, that threw a lot of SEOs off because, like we said, we know that informational intent is very important, but now that's taken over. It's gone. So what do SEOs do now? Well, we focus on other things. So again, like I said before, the algorithm updates, the last 3 have been targeting AI content. Not necessarily indexable web page copy, but blogs. If you are using AI to write your blogs, 2025 will be the funeral. It's going to go away for good. You will be penalized, and unfortunately, you can even see it now when you do AI blogs and you get no traffic from it. You get nothing, and you keep on pumping it out and keep on pumping out. The way to beat that is you can use AI to give you ideas, but you have to write your blogs as if it's a research paper. Tell them what you're going to tell them, tell it to them, tell them why it's important. AI will reward human talk to humans on their platforms. So will all the other platforms. YouTube, that's why YouTube is so popular, that's why video is so popular. You are literally talking to a camera as if the person's talking to you through a screen. That is big, that's huge, that relies on our human interaction and our communication, right? But there's also problems to say with faceless, which means you use just images or an AI avatar. There's going to be slight changes with that, but as far as what's been changed in 2024, the other thing is this is all AI. And content directly addresses search intent, like I said before. Search intent is going to be the #1 thing that differentiates a brand from a company. What is it that you are doing? Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it better than everyone else? You start to establish that in your web page, in your content, in your videos, you will be filling search intent and you will start rising through the ranks.
So those again, why are you better than, what are you doing and why are you better than anyone else?
Right. And again, what is it that we're establishing? We're establishing a brand. Mm-hmm. Any brand in this country, we can say, well, what is it, those 5 W's? Like Apple, what is it that they do? Why do they do it? Why are they better than anyone else? Las Vegas, why do people come here? Why do they stay here? Why do they have these crazy stories? Why do people come here in the first place? It's all branding. How are you going to answer those questions? And how are you going to sell that and convince people that you're the best? And that takes time.
So I was heard another way of putting it is that what is the problem that you're solving?
Right.
And why are you the best one to solve it?
Yep.
And what happens if you don't solve it?
Yeah. And again,
it doesn't matter which way you lead with?
It doesn't matter as long as
you answer that range of questions.
It's all that answer questions, right?
It's like 3 that interrelate, and you're just wanting that to be very clear on your website. And is it better to say it in a video that just point blank? Like
yes to everything. Yes. There is no other options anymore. It's not like 2001 where things were kind of coming online. Oh, I'll put my toes into this. SEO is changing its own name to search everything now. It's search everything optimization because we're not really focusing on Google because Google has demonstrated that that's just not going to be the case anymore. AI is taking over everything for Google, but that leaves an entire laundry list of other platforms that search intent is so important for, right? Moving on, AI content creation. Again, like I said before, it's going to start getting heavily penalized. They're already getting ready for the next update in February, and that one's really going to start hammering down on redundant AI-related content.
Do they know it's AI-related because it's got a digital
They're going to start seeing this redundant because
So if an AI is talking like I talk and it says the same thing that I'm saying, but I'm saying it too, then will I be penalized? Because
Yeah.
I say, I mean, basically my kids are like, yeah, Mom, we've heard this, you know, 'cause it's something I repeat on a regular basis. So how do we know which?
it's going to penalize people that say the same thing all the time in the same verbiage, but it's also the fact that it's so not well written with search intent that it's just going to fall under the wayside against the #1 ranking. Because the #1 ranking for any word earned it, and they kept it. They got it once, and they changed it every month. And they made it better, and they promoted it, and they got backlinks from it. They made videos from it to talk about what this blog post was. And they kept on driving all these elements of people coming to their content just from one piece of content. That's where we're at right now. It's going to get to that level where you have to think about what your blog is and all the different platforms that you're going to use to bring it together. It's just a way that's going to go. Again, content prioritization, EEAT, like I said before, experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. This will be how you earn your search intent. You can't just say, I'm the best plumber in Las Vegas. It ain't going to work anymore.
Testimonials, or you say, we 3D printed instead of I printed 3D. Does it matter if it's I or we?
Does not matter. It's just,
If you say, this other company 3D printed, I'm promoting it, then you're not giving any expertise or authority on that. But if you did it, your company did.
Right, because you get to talk about it. And your testimonials are really social proofing at the bottom of your webpage to basically last-ditch effort for a call to action. But when you start talking about it on Instagram, it ain't going to just be a picture of me with printing. You're going to have some kind of strategy with it now.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that reason why later. But everything that comes into your website, the way that it's designed, it needs to have some kind of fulfillment of EEAT. It just has to. Why are you the best? Well, that's a paragraph. I've been doing this for so and so long. Why are you an expert? I've done this with these people. Why are you the authority? Because I've been doing this for so long. You can trust me. Again, now that changes the way that the copy is written on your website. If it doesn't actually promote what you do and who you do it for, then it's kind of just sitting there and you wonder why you get 3 visits a month. You know what I mean? So there's a long-term strategy with EEAT. It's all part of a process now. Video and short form. What we're seeing in this year was that snippets and short form videos have taken off to a completely different level. You could actually drive traffic with just 20 short form videos that actually fulfill search intent with EEAT that basically say, check out my website, check out this, I've got this special going on, 2 for 1, whatever it is that your business is. But short form videos are highly digestible and they get seen very quickly. But long form will always win.
What's a SERP?
What's a SERP? Search results page. So when you go onto Google and you type in something and enter, the thing that comes up, that's the search result page. But long form will always win because long form you can actually establish better EEAT, better search intent, better call to actions to move to your website.
Just a longer form, just the same on the same platform, just a longer form, or is it?
Yep. The way that it's uploaded is differently. Shorts are within 1 minute, 10 seconds. Beyond that is long form, which you'll have to have a thumbnail and then a much more elaborate description with your outlinks in the description. And you got to search intent the title as well.
So like things like TikTok, we can see, or obviously.
If it's still around.
If it's still. That's
If it's still around. We got to wait till January.
Yeah.
We may not ever be talking about it after January. But if we do, you're absolutely right. That short form and the algorithm is completely different than YouTube, right? If it's still around in January, that's a different SEO strategy when it comes to establishing search intent and establishing a referral or a movement out of TikTok to your own website, okay? Completely different if we have to talk about it next month. All right, this is a big one. Core Web Vitals 2.0. This is an element of technical SEO, which is the loading speed of your website and the loading speed of your website on mobile. This is a huge problem because a lot of people have movies on their homepage and it slows down everything else. You don't have a whole lot of time to convince your person that's coming to your website if you have a movie moving and looping all the time. And if it's bad on mobile or if it's bad on desktop, it's twice as bad on mobile. Because mobile you have very little space, very little speed computing time to actually show that web page. Always will be my SEO suggestion is to get rid of every movie that's on your website. You don't need it. It doesn't work, right? Think of your load speed as a U-Haul truck. If you have a video that's looping, you're putting a huge piece of weight into the back of the truck, and then you're rolling it down the road, and everyone's passing you by because they put copy, and they put links, and they put all this EEAT and the search intent and all the things that we talked about, and it just makes it lighter and then moves faster. People stay on websites. You got 3 seconds, and if it's still loading after 3 seconds, people bounce off. And in the SEO world, we can see this. It's a metric called bounce rate. I can tell you the loading speed is so important in 2025 that it's almost going to come down to as bare bones as you can make it. Right? So, predictions. These are my personal and some industry predictions for 2025. Because SEOs... It's funny because everyone thinks that SEO is dead and AI took it out. No, it's not. We're busier than ever because of the fact that AI can quickly fix here's my issue on AI. It's great. Don't get me wrong. It's fascinating. Good stuff. You can build a website with it. Wow. Is that actually going to rank? Does that actually create your brand because you asked a computer to make a website for you? AI is written to impress you. You are building a business to impress an audience. AI is not going to get that, right? AI can do the keyword research. It can give you a list of keywords based upon your industry. But do you know the search volumes for those keywords? Do you know the search intent? If you didn't understand what search intent was before this lecture, now you know how important it is because it's just beyond Google. It's going into everything now. So understanding what you need to do, and with EEAT, you can try to put that into a prompt with AI, but it's only going to give you the results that impress you. You have to build it for your audience. So moving on, when I first started in SEO, keyword research was everything. What is the volume? How many people are actually searching for that word? Is it competitive? Do I have a chance at ranking at this in 6 months or to a year? 2025, I don't think that's going to be the case anymore because industry core keywords are going to need to be earned beyond just by placing it in your website and in your content. You're going to need another element of research, which is called a topical map. And topical mapping is taking that word. So let's say we do plumbers, right? You want to rank for best plumbers in Las Vegas. We already know that you need to have the understanding of what type of search intent it is, right? We know that it's transactional, right? Because it's best. You want to be the best. But now you need to earn it by saying different things that reinforce that you're the best. Well, that's what topical mapping is. How would you describe being the best? I know how to fix a leaky drain. That becomes a piece of content. In the description of that content, I am the best plumber in Las Vegas. This is my website. Topical mapping is going to be the next evolution of research for SEOs because we're going to have to learn how to use the word and derive it into different meanings for different audiences and start writing content based on that, not just the keyword itself, right? It's going to be, and a lot of SEOs already do this, I do this already with keyword research. Whatever keyword I know is going to be important for a client, I immediately do a topical map and I send it to them because they can start doing this with the already known search intent and their EEAT within the minute they get my reporting. They can make a video right then and there, and they can start getting into that realm, that routine of building content around topical mapping.
You're getting the topical mapping from where?
There's SEO programs for it, but a lot of it is AI driven. So when I get a topical mapping from AI, I immediately go into a database that tells me which one of those topical mapping topics either has low competition with high volume or has zero anything. No searches, no competition. Because another thing about Google is they are so far behind on indexing their own words. Every month they're behind millions. So there's topics that they don't index that are perfect for your business. And all you got to do is make some content about it. So when Google indexes it, you've already got position number 1, right? And there's nothing anyone can do to do this except understand that this is an important part. This is beating Google at their own game by using non-indexed words that have no volume and no competition and getting it before they get it, right? That's the advanced SEO world, right? Because some of those things could be very important for your business, very important to your customers. Those search intent could be commercial and transactional, and it's just not indexed by Google. Make content. EEAT, talk about how awesome you are at that specific word or phrase. The longer the phrase, it's called long tail keywords. And long tail keywords are easier to rank because they generally have low volumes. It's just the way of the game. It's the way that the intelligence of SEOs start to see the path before Google catches up, all right?
Thank you.
No problem. So moving on, this is another one of my kind of predictions, and I've seen elements of this already. I think the search results page are going to become more interactive. There's going to be videos, and there's going to be more interactive elements than just the AI answer, starting probably by the end of next year. So what does that mean? Look for best plumbers. The #1 brand for best plumbers in Las Vegas, this video shows right up. I'm the best plumber. I can get started right now. Click on this button to get started. Google will still have to reward whoever earned first page or first keyword position, but they are probably going to start doing that. They're going to be more interactive because they want to keep you on that search results page. That's Google's product, right? Or they'll reward videos for the paid ads, and you'll pay a premium for it, but you'll be able to get an ad in the results page as the person hits enter, all right? The other thing that I predict is going to happen is I've seen this in YouTube for the last 4 or 5 years, where a lot of SEOs are moving into the search intent and EAT of specific videos. My prediction, probably within the middle of next year, is that it'll be for everything. There will be an absolute need for any business, online business owner, to know an SEO to SEO their videos, even their short forms. What is the intention of this short form? Why are you doing it? Well, I'm trying to fulfill this content. I'm trying to fulfill this search intent. Okay, let's pull a report and see what's been working, what's not been working, right? Moving forward, because SEOs rely on data, we do 20 short forms and we see which ones got more views or which ones people stayed on the longest for. And then we regurgitate it, and then we do a topical map for it. And that is why video SEO is going to be probably one of the more budding elements of SEO that's going to break out in 2025, because it will be so important and there'll be so much more intelligence to gather on just that alone. All right, so this graph came out 3 days ago. Neil Patel is one of the big SEO experts. He's been in the business for about 20 years. And he had this great idea of asking Google, ChatGPT, IBS Business World, SimilarWeb to give a data set for the searches per day for the month of November. And this is the graph that he came up with. This is going to change the perspective of how you address your social media, right? We see 8.5 billion searches per day in the month of November to Google. Right next to it is Instagram, with 6.5 billion searches per day for 1 month. That is why Instagram is so popular. That is why Instagram SEO is going to be an incredible industry to get into, or at least have someone that knows how to do it. Because 6.5 billion searches per day, that is something not to look over. Next one, Baidu. Does anyone know what Baidu is?
No.
Chinese e-commerce.
Chinese Google, absolutely. So right then and there, look at this. Gold, silver, and bronze. That makes up literally the rest of the other elements of searching per day just on those three. Now, does that mean you have to go out and learn Mandarin? I'm not saying that. I'm just pointing out the fact that Baidu gets a lot of visits, a lot of searches. As we move down, Snapchat. People have been sleeping on to Snapchat, and they're going to sleep on it again next year. But Snapchat, 4 billion searches a day. 4 billion. That's more than all these other ones. That is incredible. Next, Amazon, 3.5 billion. YouTube, 3.3 billion. LinkedIn. All of these are dwarfed by Instagram.
Yeah, but things like LinkedIn, for example, or Amazon, for example, they're getting search hits through platforms like Google. DuckDuckGo is not there. Yahoo. When people search,
Yahoo's right here.
if people search on Yahoo,
Yeah.
they're getting search results from Amazon. And
Right, but this is basically saying the origination, right? We all know that whenever you go onto your mobile phone or your desktop, you're going to start with Google. But this is saying who else starts with? What other platforms are being started with, right? Yes, DuckDuckGo. But again, they're only going to, this could go all the way out here, you know what I mean, for all the platforms that said that it exists. The point being is that Instagram is huge. It's so huge right now, and it's easy to start a business account or a personal account and get involved in that 6.5 billion searches per day. Per day. That's not something to look over. Now again, YouTube, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Facebook, TikTok, Bing. Again, yeah, you're going to want to have accounts with that. And if your website wants to be on ChatGPT, the first thing you do is you index your website with Bing Webmasters. You won't get involved. That's what ChatGPT bases off, Bing Webmasters. It can be done 20, 30 minutes, right? But if you want to be involved in the ChatGPT OpenAI ecosystem, you have to have an indexed Bing website. And a lot of people don't. A lot of people just, it's Bing, who cares? People are caring about Bing now, and even with DuckDuckGo. Got to get it indexed with them as well. That's a search engine. You got to index with them. More things are going to happen in 2025 that are going to require steps to get you into certain platforms to be searchable. Once you're in there, now you got to start promoting, and you still got to start earning that reputation. And again, with SEO, you got to earn your value and you got to earn your brand. And that takes time. 2025 is going to be a very interesting year.
What about earned media? How does earned media, meaning that it's not you talking about yourself, it's the news doing a news story on you? How is that accessed into this Google?
So there's two ways. If it's an article, right? So
Video of you.
if a video of you and it's being shown into a different, yeah.
Channel 3 news or, no.
That's huge, because that's it depends if they use your link in the description of that video that they took from you. And they're supposed to, because there's copyright laws involved, right? They have to ask for your permission, right? That's huge for your channel, huge. Same thing with blogs. If you write a blog and you promote it or you pitch it to Wall Street Journal and they like it and they put it on the Wall Street Journal, do you know how much traffic will come from that one article? But SEOs have to know this. This is backlink profiling. There are certain people that get lucky, and that's the lottery ticket of SEO, is to have an article that the Wall Street Journal, MSNBC, Fox News, any of these major outlets, because they're so powerful. Their domains and their keywords, there's no one in the city that has the amount of traffic that they get. You know what I mean? Other than the hotels. So again, looking at your business, not internally, but externally. What is it that you do that's so important? And take the risk. Ask for that interview. Get on blogs. Get in podcasts. Podcasting is huge, as long as you don't start one. You know, get into as many as you can, because that's free backlinks. That's free referrals. Building a podcast, if we go back to my plant, that's putting another seed next to it. You have to build that podcast. So you're starting from scratch and you're hoping one grows faster than the other. Podcasts are great, but it's even better to be on one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, again, any questions? I can probably wrap this up pretty quickly.
When you were talking about video content,
Yep.
I'm thinking like content marketing. One of the concepts is like if you're a nice bicycle shop, you put up a bunch of videos of how to fix your brakes, how to fix your derailleur, how to fix your shifter, how to change a tire. And people say, why are you doing that? People just do it themselves. They won't go to your shop, Mike. But is that what building the content that people will want to watch because it has value to them?
It's so counterintuitive to build content of the things that you do for your business, but I'm telling you, it's going to be more valuable in 2025 than you possibly could imagine. Yeah, that's what you would want to do. You would want to show how to fix the brakes on a bike. You'd want to show how to change the tire. You want to show what the numerization of the tire pressure and tread and everything. It's so counterintuitive to the old school way of business because we want to hold on to that information. You know, we're agnostic about it. Like, this is mine. This is what I've acquired. We live in an age.
The follow-up question is, in that case, you're sending them to YouTube, though. And you said don't put the video, on your first page. But
Yeah.
How do you get the credit for that if people are going to YouTube to watch it?
Because it's in your channel.
Right. So you'd be building a channel, right? So the channel, YouTube channel, right? That's what you're building, right? But you can refer them to your website. So in the description of the YouTube channel, you can have a little hyperlink. And that link can go to your website. And again, in the content, you can put in description, come to my website to learn more.
That's the idea.
You're drawing them from the search from YouTube because they would be searching how to fix the brakes on a bike.
Yeah.
You pop up on that list, they click it. You get credit for the click, right?
Okay.
Now YouTube starts to monitor the time in which they're there. And it usually goes from 100% and at a certain point it goes down, right? The analytics will show this. Over time, you can see where, if you were to redo the video, where would you put your call to action when it starts to go down? You don't want to put it at the very end where everyone else thinks that they should put it. You want to put it somewhere in the middle because you've seen the timeline and it starts to go down to 80%. Put it right there. Click to find more. My name is so-and-so. Because they're already dropping off. You don't want to drop them off here. You'll get nothing for it, right? Again, this is having a YouTube channel. You'll start to see this.
I just wanted to clarify, I think what he's talking about when he says don't put a video on there, there's a video loop that you can place on your website that just plays as soon as they click on it and starts to play.
Right.
So what he's saying is not that you can't put videos on it on the bottom or so when they're going through but when it loads up, there's not a loop that's playing.
Okay.
They can click on the videos.
Yep.
Because I have
Right.
posted on right on my website, click here, yes, it goes to YouTube.
Yep, and that's the way you want to do it, right? You want to have like either a hyperlink for the specific YouTube or the channel itself.
Thumbnail on.
Right.
Yeah, thumbnail right.
Don't play it in the header.
Don't have it automatically.
Yeah.
And again, and the thing is, it's good to know this because if you didn't know it and you kept it on there, you're going to see that people are falling off whenever you talk to an SEO for an audit and be like, holy crap, they're falling off in 3 seconds because this video is there. You know, put a YouTube link in there. Talk about your YouTube channel. You have space on your webpage to talk about your YouTube channel and draw them to the YouTube channel. But most of the time, they're coming from YouTube to your website. That's why the descriptions and all the texting and the linking in the bottom of the description. That's why it's so important on YouTube. You got to have them a way to go somewhere else. And also, after time, you want to link to other YouTube posts and long form videos in the description of the one that you just created. Learn more by clicking here. Learn more. I talked about this, and that's why you see those little windows in certain YouTube videos. Those are links to other videos so that they stay on your channel, right? Again, SEO, this is the advanced level of where we're getting at in 2025. We've already starting to see it in certain people, in certain channels, but it's going to become canon pretty soon. It's going to become required. And if it's not done, you're going to see it because you're not growing. You're not going from 10 visits to 12. You're not going from 12 to 25. You're going from 25 to 3. And that's the problem, because you got to see it before it happens. You got to be predictive, you know. So, any other questions? Got a couple. No? I'll give you my card. If you guys want my card afterwards, I'll be able to give it to you. I do free audits, free website audits, just to help everyone out so they know where they're at. Most of what I do is reporting, so a lot of the keyword research, topical mapping, a lot that's been very popular with me for the last year and a half, because, you know, to do the reporting. So what you would do is you would say, hey, Eric, I need a keyword research report with topical mapping. That's a weekend. And you would get a nice long report, and you'd be like, okay, I'll make a video about this. Okay, I'll write about that on Instagram. Okay, I'll write about that on Pinterest.
And what's the cost for that?
It's $100 for 2-3 pages. The more extensive ones go to 2 to 3. So just depending on what it is that you need. But again, that reporting honestly sets you up for 30 days, and even beyond that, 60, 90 days, because it's using SEO to get you the advantage, right? The other thing too is, this is kind of a last point, anyone that has a business website, you got to start paying attention to your competition. You got to start paying attention to them in 2025. When it comes to the keywords that you know that are important for your business, who owns number one? Who owns it? Someone owns it. You got to start studying them. You got to start looking at answering the 5 W's. Why do they exist? Where did they come from? Why are people picking them? You got to answer it for them as if you're a customer. And once you start seeing that, you can start to see where they're not really hitting search intent on certain things. And you can start to beat them at their own game. But as business owners, we have to rely on looking at others with scrutiny other than ourselves. Because it's easy to scrutinize our own problems with our own business. I completely understand that. But if you can use that scrutiny to your competition, you can start to see, wow, they're too big. That's a big thing about here in Vegas. Certain industries, the only reason why someone got the first keyword is because they have an office here in Vegas. They're so big, right? But what does that mean for you? That's great. The bigger the company, the better. Because what is it that they're lacking? Customer service. Just because you don't have as much clients or customers, you get to use the fact that you're small, you're intimate, you're more experienced, you have better relations with your customers. Our customers come back. The bigger the business, not necessarily true. And it will show itself in your analysis of them, right? It's really important to look more at gathering intelligence for strategy against your competition than just yourself. So that's my last point. I really appreciate you guys sticking this one out. Any questions at all? I have my card here. I'll be able to give it to you. Anyone that wants it. And I really appreciate you guys hanging out in here and trudging into the last of the last. So appreciate it.
Thanks, Eric.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you.